to have a chance at these spaces, everyone. And I'm happy you're here this afternoon to be a part of it. We had a whole group of people in the other space this morning and this afternoon that, spent minutes asking me many questions about xUSD, about the Surge community, what they're building, the new DEX, some of the new tokens that are coming out, how those tokens are going to be adaptable to many different projects, maybe even a lot of new homes for the DeFi community. So I think you're going to really love today's space.
Yeah, thanks, Jen. I'm looking forward to it too. It just hit 3. I'm going to give it a few more minutes, let a few other people come in here in case they are a little bit late, and then we'll get started.
Let's go. I'm going to bring up our good friend Andrew. Yep.
Oh, I see him. Hey, Andrew.
What's going on, guys? Thanks for bringing me up once again.
What's up, buddy?
Yep, we're going to get started here in a moment.
Yeah, man. I don't know if a lot of you guys were in that Twitter Spaces AMA with Useless yesterday, but Mark's had his hand in a lot of different contracts. I mean, dozens of contracts for various different organizations that are doing huge things in DeFi today. I mean, it's huge. He's had a hand in a lot of those. And we got some big news on the Surge end. I have no idea how he affords the time to do all these innovational things that he's doing over here with us, with everything that he does for everybody else. It's incredible. Guy's got a lot of talent.
Thanks, Blue. I guess you could say I have too much time.
All right. So with that being said, welcome to the xUSD discussion AMA, everybody. We're going to go over a lot of info today. We got DeFi Mark here, of course. He's got a ton of information to cover. As already stated, we're going to have a brief AMA at the end once all the information's gone over and everything. And we've got some other special guests here today. We've got just Jen Sense. Jen is here, the Volt DeFi CEO. She's going to be a huge asset to us and providing blockchain information and maybe assisting in some of the explanations that Mark's going to give today. And she's been collaborating with us on multiple fronts, getting us all set up with coin market cap listings and other things that we've been pursuing on the Surge front. And then we got Moon Matt here. He's been assisting us with marketing, and he's a good friend of Mark. And yeah, he's just a really good guy. He's been helping out the team a lot and really helping us out on the marketing front here lately. We really appreciate him being here. He's my Twitter Spaces guru here lately. He's been teaching me the ropes, getting all this done. And then he's probably going to bring up some friends, some connections that he has in the NFT industry throughout the AMA. And a lot of these guys in the NFT organizations have been really helping us out in the charitable front, contributing to the Surge Fund with the victims of the hack and everything that occurred in August. But yeah, we're really, really happy and blessed to have all these people here with us today, all working together. So with that being said, Mark's going to start covering some amazing news today. If you want to kick it off, Mark.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm going to start going over xUSD and some of the new stuff we're going to see there. I'm going to lead into it talking about the pre-sale that we're going to have for xUSD. And I know we've never had a Surge pre-sale before. This one it'll definitely be different than a traditional pre-sale, but you'll see what the benefits are in a moment. And then after that, I'm just going to kick off kind of the roadmap for where we are right now. I know I touched on it last week, but I really just want to re-mention everything again because it is pretty cool, some of the stuff that not only is coming out soon, but coming out in the near future. Okay, so with that being said, let's go over xUSD. So xUSD, this is our newest Surge token, and it'll be paired with BUSD. But there are several factors about xUSD that differentiate this token from our other Surge tokens. First and foremost, the main one is the fact that this will be the token that allow you to move in and out of the Surge ecosystem very easily and with very low fees. So in a situation where you expect a bear market or you want to quickly move profits easily from Surge into an intermediary that's pegged to the US dollar, you can do so with xUSD for incredibly low fees. So xUSD, it is a Surge token. So more or less, it doesn't start with S, it starts with X, and that's for a few other reasons, but it is a Surge token. So It has all the same Surge effects that we know and love. The first person to buy in gets the best deal, and the last person to sell gets the best price. Basically, that same logic applies here. The main use cases for xUSD, though, go a little beyond the current Surge tokens we have now. So xUSD is going to be the first Surge token that can list both on centralized and decentralized exchanges.
Boom.
Because xUSD is going to be so widespread. It's going to be the centralized token in our DEX. We also want it to not be necessarily as shrouded away as other Surge tokens. So, Surge Bitcoin, Surge ADA, Surge ETH, these can't live on exchanges. The way they're written, they are their own exchange. And what we wanted xUSD to be is the way to get into the Surge ecosystem, even from an exchange like this. So we don't have to list all of them on exchanges. We can list xUSD, and people can trade in from xUSD and enter the ecosystem that way. So considering it's going to be on exchanges, we're actually listing xUSD on PancakeSwap when it launches. And this is for an easier CMC listing and to actually get some chartability on KuCoin right off the bat. But it's important to note, you do not need to buy xUSD on PancakeSwap. It's actually probably better that you don't. xUSD will still be purchasable the same way as all the other Surge tokens. You can either send BNB to it, and it'll reach out and buy BUSD for you, or you can stake your existing BUSD in and get Surge tokens back that way. PancakeSwap will allow for a few things. I already mentioned CMC listing and having a nice chart on KuCoin, but it'll also let us arbitrage against the price of BNB. Okay, so before I get into that, xUSD has incredibly low fees. We're talking 0.75% buy and stake and 0.25% sell and transfer. So the most you would lose by acquiring xUSD and then selling it would be 1%, assuming nobody bought, sold, or transferred it between that time. If you buy it and immediately sell it, you'll lose 1%, which is the maximum in the Surge thing. So this is a really good risk hedge. But the main thing I'm excited about for xUSD is its relationship with other currencies. So off the bat, as I said before, we're pairing it on PancakeSwap. And what that means is anytime the price of BNB, for instance, goes up or down by 0.5%, xUSD will actually go up in value because people will need to trade it into BNB to make profit on that price imbalance. And what that means is every transfer raises the price of xUSD. So having these situations will actually benefit the token over time. And xUSD, I believe, is going to get the majority benefit from crypto volatility as a whole. Because right off the bat, it's getting paired with BNB. But over time, especially as the Surge DEX comes out, it's going to be paired with everything, I believe. To start, it's going to be BNB and all the Surge tokens. But as we move on, we're going to add everything into this DEX, having xUSD as a basis. So what that means is every time Bitcoin goes up or down 0.5%, or ADA goes up or down 0.5%, or BNB goes up or down 0.5%, there will be constant transaction volume into xUSD to correct that price on whatever exchange it's on, whether it's Bitmart, PancakeSwap, Surge DEX, any of those. There needs to be that volume to correct the price to keep it accurate. Yeah, here's an example. Like say one xUSD is $1, okay? And we have $100 in a pool with $100 of Bitcoin. And then let's say the price of Bitcoin doubles. So now the amount of Bitcoin in the pool is twice as much as the xUSD. So what people can do here is you can buy Bitcoin at that cheaper price by selling your xUSD into it and arbitrage it until those prices are about the same again. And that's how prices usually keep around the same point across a bunch of different exchanges. But the difference here is instead of just arbitraging and letting the person who makes the trade get all the profit, part of the profit goes back into xUSD itself because of the Surge-like transfer fees. And having such low fees will allow us to be constantly trading and constantly moving it around, constantly day trading it to hopefully maximize transaction volume. And that's something I'm very excited about, and why I think the PancakeSwap KuCoin listing right off the bat is almost essential. it'll be a funny looking chart for sure, no doubt. The reason why this is possible is because Surge has its own built-in market maker. It determines its own price, and it does so in a way to ensure the price always accrues. The difference is PancakeSwap doesn't do this. So on PancakeSwap, the price of Surge USD will be able to go up and down. Like if people sell it on PancakeSwap, the price will go down. So that's where we're going to have these opportunities to correct the price difference. And I think we're going to have a pretty funny looking chart on PooCoin as well. This is just what I'm guessing it'll look like. I'm guessing it'll kind of bounce up and down, up and down, up and down within 0.5% up or down of the real price, but slowly kind of steadily going upwards along with xUSD. So I'm really excited to see how that looks on PooCoin, but that's more just for looks. I'm excited to see what that looks like. But yeah, for the most part, those are the main things. I know that was a lot of info all at once, so I'm sorry. And I know the arbitrage whole thing isn't too known and practiced, but basically all you're trying to do is correct any price imbalance in DeFi. And what I coin it as is xUSD will benefit from global crypto volatility. So crypto is very volatile, and every time it is volatile, xUSD will be able to benefit from that volatility. So overall, I'm very excited about it, not only for that, but also as a way to move your Surge tokens away without really having to sell and lose the full amount. Like, for example, if ETH goes on a crazy run and your Surge Ethereum is doing very well, you might want to take profits, but you might not want to get hit with the full 6% sell fee because you might still want to hold Surge ETH. You just know you'll get a better deal for it if you sell and then buy back in later. What you can do is you can just move your Surge ETH into xUSD, hold it for however long you want. You only lose a 0.25% transfer fee, and then you can just move it right back into Surge Ethereum whenever it's time to do so again, which is really cool. And it'll allow us to, instead of having to pair off all these Surge tokens with each other, we don't need Surge Bitcoin and Surge ADA, Surge Bitcoin and Surge ETH, Surge Bitcoin and Surge Useless. We don't need to do all that. We just need to have one pool for each paired with xUSD, and then it can live in the middle. So if you want to go from Surge Bitcoin to Surge Ethereum, you would go Bitcoin to USD and then USD into Ethereum. So it's going to be very interesting, and that's why I'm very excited about xUSD overall. The low fees specifically make it very attractive to not only day traders, but people who... So Surge is for the long holders. It's for people that want to hold for a long time. But xUSD gives you a little extra flexibility if you expect something to happen. If you expect the market to go down, moving into xUSD might be beneficial. And otherwise, that would be tough to do with the current setup for Surge, considering the really high sell fees. So with all that being said, I believe that's the majority of the use cases for xUSD is the exchange, multiple exchanges, and crypto volatility and hedging your risk, more or less. So with those use cases out of the way, I'll announce the official launch date for xUSD, at least now that we're planning on, is November 5th, so next Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. It was going to be a little earlier, but we want to make sure we have all the education out there lined up and there's no questions or confusions around, because I'm sure there's plenty right now, but I am making a YouTube video about this, so hopefully that'll help everyone out there with some questions going around. We're hoping to get that out before xUSD launches, so hopefully I can get some feedback and really try to help push the education for it, because I'm really excited about this project, and I want all of you to as well. So I'm going to spend some time really trying to break it down for everybody. So.
Oh yeah, and I think everybody's going to appreciate that.
This is awesome.
I feel like I've been talking for too long. So before I go into more specs about the pre-sale, I'm just going to give it a second.
Yeah,
Anyone else have anything to add?
Yeah, take a second. Diablo, how you feeling?
Man, that sounds great. I love the innovation you guys always come up with. I got a quick question here, though. So as we're using this as a transitory token, and the low gas fees are extremely attractive, are we saying the same gas fee applies if, say, you were coming on or two off the Ethereum network back to the because this token exists on Binance, correct? On BNB.
Yeah, so it's on BSC.
Okay, so as you're coming back from Ethereum, are you going to be? Is the gas fee going to be related to Ethereum, or this still translates the same gas?
So the gas fee is different. Gas fees are more how much you have to pay people to process your transaction. The fees I was referencing were the transaction fees.
Oh, you're just talking about the tax.
Yeah, the transaction fees that go towards Surge. These are much more lower. Instead of being 6% buy, sell, and 2% transfer, it's 0.75% buy and stake and 0.25% sell and transfer.
Yeah, I guess my question was from a day trader's perspective, if you were coming back and forth from Ethereum to Bitcoin, if you were able to handle their gas that's going on with that and make it very attractive. Not that your taxes don't make it very attractive already, but
no, yeah.
As we all know, Ethereum hits you pretty hard.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Hopefully Vitalik and that crew can figure out the gas fees over there sooner than later.
Yeah.
They're working on it. They're figuring out layer 2 and new kind of like mechanical mechanisms that'll assist in it. And like yeah, you'll see.
Yeah.
I love Vitalik and I love Ethereum,
but
they've been trying to figure this out for years. I'm not saying I don't believe in them. I'm just saying I'm just waiting to see when it happens. No more when 2.0 for me. I'm just waiting and seeing. I still love ETH. I'm not saying anything on that, but I've been waiting for like 3 years, it feels like, for 2.0. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, back to xUSD. But yeah, no, thanks, Diablo. Sorry about not making that too clear with the whole differentiating between gas fees and transaction fees.
No, it makes perfect sense, brother. It makes perfect sense.
There's too many fees, too many stuff for people to remember. Really is. Okay, so we got the launch date out of the way, November 5th, next Friday. I'm going to go into a little detail about the pre-sale and why we're having one, because we've never had a pre-sale for Surge before, and it's not going to work the same way as a normal pre-sale would, considering Surge has no dev tokens, there's no total supply that's minted or allocated anywhere. It can't work the same as a normal pre-sale, so it's going to work a little differently. So we're raising funds, and we are going to put the majority of these funds into PancakeSwap for the reasons I gave before. 1 for the PooCoin, nice chart. 2 for CMC, and 3 to allow arbitrage for the price of BNB going up or down. xUSD can benefit from it. Those are the main reasons why we're listing on PancakeSwap. So PancakeSwap is temporary until the Surge DEX is out. We need to. I would like to see firsthand how xUSD reacts inside a traditional liquidity pool like this, and really see the effects firsthand before we pair it off everywhere. So yeah, as I said before, buying through PancakeSwap isn't really necessary. You probably shouldn't unless you are trying to profit off of price imbalances. So if you don't know what you're doing with arbitrage and you don't want to figure it out, I would just buy it standard through the token itself normally. So the way the pre-sale is going to work is we have 400 pre-sale slots available, and each slot costs 0.3 BNB to reserve for yourself. So the benefit of getting one of these pre-sale slots is you can actually buy into xUSD tax-free before it launches. So this will ensure everyone who buys in the pre-sale gets the exact same deal, and there's no more first come for there, and it doesn't raise the price before the actual launch rolls out. This will become more apparent in my video, but if you don't have a tax on Surge tokens buying and selling, the price just stays the same, and it doesn't move at all. So having no buy fee in this scenario for the pre-sale will actually make it so the price doesn't go up at all before the rest of the people get in, which is still pretty attractive for comers. But this will actually raise us a good amount of money to use for PancakeSwap, which is awesome. So each slot, there's 400 slots, 0.3 BNB per slot. The maximum amount of xUSD you can buy per slot is $25,000. So if you have one pre-sale slot, you can either buy 25,000 worth of xUSD with BNB, or you can stake it with the BUSD you already have. And this is to limit a whale coming in buying a metric crap ton in one purchase tax-free, because that's not desirable. If a whale does want that, they'll have to secure multiple spots. So this isn't going to really impact xUSD too much in the negative. it's going to allow a lot of people to buy in. You will still have the 0.25% sell fee, but you will be able to purchase with 0.75% buy fee. So yeah, the pre-sale is valuable because xUSD, remember, is a Surge token. So the people who buy it at the beginning will get it at the cheapest price it will ever be, considering it can only appreciate from its starting value. And the way that the funds will be broken down afterwards, 90% of the BNB generated will go towards PancakeSwap, and 10% will go towards the DEX development. And the number one thing we need to pay for there is audits. Audits. We have a lot of contracts coming at you for the DEX. A lot of really cool things you can do. A lot of weird ways to use your Surge token. So we need audits there. So we're taking 10% of that pre-sale funding and allocating it towards audits, and 90% will make a pool on PancakeSwap. So that's pretty much how the pre-sale is going to go. We are going to start the pre-sale 2 days before xUSD launches. So that'll be Wednesday, November 3rd. And we're going to have a lot more information about that. Should it be right on our website? No changes, nothing crazy. It'll be, everyone will know when it launches, what you have to do. At the current state, to register a spot, you would just have to either throw BNB into our contract or interact with the dApp directly on xsurge.net. Either of those options would and should be available on the 3rd, and I'll be sure to give more information on exactly the way to do it as we get closer to that date. But yeah, that's the major news of the pre-sale. I'm definitely going to have that Moonmark video out for everyone before then. It basically goes over what Surge is and how it works, and it takes a good look at all the problems in DeFi that Surge solved or proposed good solutions for. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited to share with all of you and allow everyone to have a deep understanding of Surge as well, because I think it's really freaking cool, man. I really do. That's all I have on xUSD. Let's take a minute, maybe bring up some people before I go into the roadmap. There's a couple cool things coming after xUSD. I don't want to spend too much time going into them now. We'll probably have further spaces for those as it gets closer to their launch, but I will hint on a few things after.
Hell yeah! So if people have questions, feel free to throw the requests in.
Yeah, that was a lot of information. So let's do some questions now before I keep throwing shit at you guys. Excuse my language. All right, we have a few speakers up here. I'm not sure.
I just brought up Sarah. Sarah, do you have a question?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep.
That's Sala. Sorry.
Mark?
Yep, I can hear you. How's it going, man? Oh, I think you're muted now.
Hey, Sala, we could hear you. You just have to turn the mic back on.
All right, we'll try again in a minute. Safe Moon Rick, how we feeling?
Nobody
Good. Just had a question. So I just got into the space. Is the xUSD, is that part of Surge?
Yes, it's going to be the main token used
Hello?
across the Surge DEX, and it'll facilitate trading between Surge tokens. So if you have one Surge token and you would like another one, you can use xUSD as an intermediary to switch between them.
Oh, that'd be awesome. So when's the launch going to be? You got to make a video beforehand?
Yes, sir. I've already started on the video. It'll be out a few days before the launch. Launch date is set for next Friday, November 5th.
Very cool.
I'll be going over all the data. There's a bunch of cool stuff coming with xUSD too. I'm not going to spend it took me a long time to get through all the crap about it. So if you want to go back and watch the video for the space, you definitely should, because there's a bunch of cool stuff coming for sure. Main thing I'm excited for, that I'll just throw this out right now. This will be the first Surge token that can be on both centralized and decentralized exchanges. So we can actually have exchange listings for this one as well, which is very exciting. That's
really cool, man. Really cool.
Yeah, and also the biggest thing that I've been looking forward to the most, this is going to offer you flexibility to traverse the market. So we've got all these different variants out. You know, we've got Ethereum, we've got Ethereum and other variants out there that you can literally cross out between. You can go from the stable coin from Ethereum to the stable coin, or you can go from the stable coin to useless or whatever through xUSD. Now you can traverse the market and take advantage of arbitration opportunities to bump your profit up in a bear market or bull market, depending on where we're at. So this is what offers us the freedom of that ecosystem we've been promising all along. Like, this is what we've all been waiting for. Hear me? And then with the centralized exchangers, we're bumping up the price floor even more. You know, Absolutely. So we're bumping up some volume here. Mark? Like, this is huge.
I'm not sure you guys can hear me, but
yeah, we can hear you, Salah.
I can't hear anybody else right now.
One quick thing, too, is the tokenomics for xUSD will also work on centralized exchanges. Just throwing that out there.
Let's try to run through some of these questions. We got some speakers up here. No, Salah, can you hear us?
A long time.
All right.
Can you hear you, Salah?
We got a lot of speakers. Salah, can you hear us? Salah's gone. All right, I know we had Josh. We had useless Josh come up. Vibin, I see you. We got a little bit of a line going here. Josh, you got something? A question?
Yeah, so my question for Mark is, you don't see xUSD as kind of a surge killer? Like, you know, say, for example, I hold Surge Ethereum and I want to sell it. You know, why wouldn't I just transfer it to xUSD and then sell that for a lower fee?
Well, that's the thing. If everyone starts doing that, then the price of xUSD in the ETH xUSD pool will be much lower. So you'd actually lose money doing that if everyone is doing that. So considering it's on PancakeSwap, the prices aren't definite. They don't always rise. So if people are exiting xUSD, exiting other Surge tokens through xUSD, it'll actually force its price to be lower than the other ones in those pools. So it's similar to how a lot of people remember when SafeMoon launched. I had a whole prediction thing where I was like, it's going to launch at 10% lower than the real SafeMoon price. And until they messed up the bridges and how that taxation worked, it was exactly that. Considering you had to lose 10% to create SafeMoon, its price was inherently lower. And that same thing will apply. So because you will be able to move from a current Surge token into xUSD and then sell it tax-free, as long as that opportunity exists, people will take it, and that will keep the price consistently about 6% lower than it should be. And that'll actually add into extra arbitrage as well. Because as people want that, as soon as it hits, say, you can sell Surge ETH for 4% by moving it in, someone's going to do that, further driving that price down and allowing for extra arbitrage. So I'm not worried about that. Maybe a few people will get lucky with that at the beginning, but the way that it's going to work immediately, at least, is the price will have to be lower, because if people have that opportunity, they will take it, and it will keep the price lower for that reason. The other main reason being is we would need a lot of liquidity to have everyone be able to move out of a Surge token into this to sell. The fact that we won't have an infinite amount of liquidity off the bat, considering of how Surge is, it means that people won't be able to take advantage of this multiple times. You know, if one or two sizable mini shark whales were to do this, the price would be far lower, to the point where someone could make money going the other way and actually entering Surge through xUSD, if that makes sense.
There's going to be plenty of incentive to cross back over to Surge, is what he's saying. Like, you can't rely solely on xUSD as a profitable opportunity. Eventually, there's going to be volume to cross over to the variants, and there's going to be incentive to do so. So no matter what, we are getting exactly what we want through this integration. We're getting volume.
But yeah, just to reiterate what I was saying, because that is a good point. I was thinking about this originally as well, but it's impossible for it to keep the same price, because people will take advantage of that opportunity to make money selling Surge ETH at a lower price. Well, for instance, we said ETH as an example, so that's what I'm sticking with. But I mean any of them. People will take that opportunity and take that advantage, and when they do take it, that's what will make it impossible to keep taking advantage of, if that makes sense at all. I know it is confusing, but I'm not worried about that in the slightest. Transaction volume is one of the most healthiest things you can do for Surge. So if we just incentivize more transfers and sells, that's even better, honestly. As everyone remembers, selling your Surge tokens is the most beneficial operation you can do to the token. But it'll be on this cuff of either allowing people to move out and sell xUSD better, or optionally enter Surge at a better deal, depending on the state and the price of xUSD compared to all these other tokens. So it really does open up a whole different trading view almost. There's a bunch of different stuff to take into consideration if you're trying to actively trade and day trade and make profit from this ecosystem. Otherwise, it is the Surge tokens themselves are absolutely built for people who just want to sit and hold. You don't need to do any of this stuff. If you do not like actively trading, or say if you're really busy and you don't have time to constantly sit and look at charts, Surge was made for people to just sit and hold in general. All this is doing is allowing us to expand our horizon into people who like to do harder trading type activities, whether it be arbitrage, whether it be day trading, anything like that. We're now including them into our ecosystem. So you don't need to be a long-term holder that just buys and sits and waits to be the last one to sell now to have fun and potentially profit here. And with that, and bringing those people in will only add to transaction volume, which further helps the Surge token.
And then we're going to have new variants coming out on board too. I don't know if you guys were here for the last AMA, but we're about to have our own launch platform where you can literally create whatever Surge token you want. If you want to Surge SafeMoon, you can Surge SafeMoon. If you want to Surge Dogecoin, you can Surge Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, everything. All those popular variants that everybody's been asking for, you can have it. It's all there at your disposal as soon as we get this launch platform out. So we are tying into every major ecosystem that you guys are wanting to see. And trust me, there will be incentive for linear price action on transfers. It's coming.
Yeah, and besides that, so really quick, I know we have a lot of speakers, and I'm sorry, but I'm just going to end out because we pretty much are touching on what my last announcement was anyway. I'm just going to finish that out so we can turn the rest of the time into an AMA, and we don't have to keep doing back and forths. So following up on what Blue said, the Surge Factory is next on the roadmap. So the roadmap goes, we got Surge USD, xUSD coming out. Then we have Surge BNB version 2 coming out. And after that, we have the Surge Factory. And as Blue was saying, the Surge Factory is a way for anyone to create a Surge token for any underlying asset that they want. Say you have a project you're really bullish on and you want to have an opportunity to become a bigger whale in that project, you could go to the Surge Factory and you can create a pre-audited, pre-approved Surge token for that underlying asset. And these Surge tokens have no ownership whatsoever. So it's not even that they're renounced ownership. There is no ownership. Nobody owns these. They are pre-built, pre-audited contracts. So a benefit to using the Surge Factory will be you don't have to get an audit on your Surge token. They'll already be created and they'll already be approved by CertiK. And additionally, your Surge token will be ticked as verified. So on our Surge app, on our Surge DEX, and on the dApp itself, you will be able to utilize our ecosystem for your token if you make it through the Surge Factory, which is pretty cool. So we'll be able to charge for people to create their own Surge tokens and allocate some of that funding towards the Surge Fund, towards DEX development and marketing, and several things like that. So there's a couple cool things coming with the factory. I'm just going to say this one thing, and then we're all done. I'll wrap it up, and we'll bring some people up for questions. But the main thing I'm excited about is the Surge Factory is the upcharge for Surge funding. So as you know, our Surge tokens right now, they contribute to the Surge Fund. So it's not a tax that affects anyone else, but out of the percentage tax that's burned that goes towards Surge's price going up, about a fourth of it or a third of it, depending, gets allocated to the Surge Fund instead. So that Surge continues to keep its upward price action, but the Surge Fund also gets kickbacks. Now, this isn't a desired effect for everyone. There's several DeFi projects out there that don't want Surge funds selling down their tokens all the time. So a workaround that I thought would be a good idea is when you create your own Surge token, by default, if you just spend the minimum amount of money to create one, it will have the Surge Fund allocation built into it. But you have an option to spend I don't know the exact amount, probably 5 BNB or something like that, to actually opt out of funding altogether for your token. And that 5 BNB just goes straight to Surge Fund. So we're going to allow people to kind of pay a one-time fee up front to create a Surge token that doesn't have this fee allocation built into it, which is very beneficial. I think will help Surge Fund the most in the long run. But yeah, okay. Sorry, I'm done with all the announcements now. We finally wrapped them up. Let's bring some people up here. We actually have a bunch up here already.
I think, all right, so I'm going to try to backtrack a little bit. I believe DeFi Crypto Revolution was the first one up. How you feeling today, DeFi?
Hey, bud, you're muted. DeFi Crypto Revolution. You got a question, bud?
We can keep on the list. Was Vibe in here? Since?
Yeah, we got Vibe in Crypto.
Vibin, are you hearing this?
Yes.
Did you hear what this is?
Yes, I did hear. And I've been able to talk to Jen a little bit recently. She came into a couple of my spaces and really gave us the education on the X Factor token. And I'm really excited. I like to call it the X Factor. Being able to come out with something that's stable that you can make trading pairs against is definitely revolutionary in a sense when it comes to DeFi. The only question I did have, and you might have touched on it, Mark, I stepped out for a little bit. You guys are going to offer this on a centralized and decentralized exchange simultaneously. Are they going to be in the same liquidity pool, or how is that going to actually function?
So to be on an exchange, you have to be in a different liquidity pool. A liquidity pool is what an exchange uses to determine the price of an asset and enable trading between different assets. So when we launch originally, Surge is going to have its own internal liquidity pool. So xUSD will have its own liquidity pool that manages its own price, and that will allow for it to have this constant upward momentum. But additionally, it will have a small liquidity pool on PancakeSwap with BNB. Right at launch, we aren't going to necessarily be on a centralized exchange, but now we have an ability to be, considering how we wrote xUSD. So that's going to be something we're looking into. We don't really have an exchange picked out yet or anything like that. But as soon as we were to pick an exchange and apply and get listed on them, we would need to supply them with funds to create a liquidity pool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to know, man. That's a really cool feature, man. And I appreciate you guys and what you guys are bringing on to DeFi now. And DeFi definitely needed an upgrade. And it sounds like this is the way. And being able to offer different partnerships with different tokens and different projects is very exciting. And I hate I have to head out early. I got to go do a YouTube right now. But I appreciate you guys letting me come up, and good luck with the project. And thanks again, Jen, for always educating us on what's going on with you guys.
Yeah, thanks, man. Have a good time. Good luck with your YouTube thing.
Thank you.
No, yeah, it's going to be exciting. Who's ready to see the xUSD chart on PooCoin?
I'm hyped.
I'm just curious what it'll look like. I really think it's just going to start bouncing up and down, following the steady growth that Surge sees.
Martin, did you have anything that you wanted to ask? He's chilling. Evelyn, how you feeling?
I'm doing good.
Do you have a question for us?
I just barely woke up, so I can't think of it right now.
No worries. Anyone up here have a question quick?
I have a question.
What's up, Tommy?
The Surge Fund, is that going to just exist in perpetuity, or if that ends, what happens then to all the fees you just talked about?
Oh, you mean the Surge Fund allocation that's built into the tokens?
Yeah.
We're able to disable it entirely, so those will just go away. So the fees right now, there's not extra fees. It takes the fee out of the Surge Fund tax. So when that's finally disabled, all of that tax will go towards raising the value of the Surge tokens. And what that'll do is it'll make volume actually raise their value more instead of allocating funds out to Surge Fund.
So you wouldn't just assign it to something else?
That is an opportunity too, but I think that the Surge tokens themselves shouldn't have funding built into them. I think they should just be their own beasts. So most likely what would happen is we would turn those fundings off entirely, so the Surge tokens themselves could benefit like 100% from their volume.
So what's your sort of forecast for when that's no longer going to be an issue? So when is the Surge Fund going to be finished?
Well, sooner the better. Hopefully, we don't have we can never fully. I can't predict exactly when it'll be paid off, but I'm happy so far with the progress we have made. We have about 1.05% paid off so far, and I know that's not huge for a lot of you, but I really think that with the rollout of xUSD and the Surge DEX and the Surge Factory, that we can really boost that number up. So hopefully sooner the better, definitely.
Yeah, and it's not just transfers. It's not just token transfers and tax allocation either. We have a lot of extra events that we've been hosting to boost up the funding. I'm not sure if you've been following on our Twitter, but we host these audits for these products, these coins.
Auctions.
We have, yeah. So Kev's been creating these beautiful coins for us, and they've been going. The last one went for over $800. That got brought into the Surge Fund just right off the bat.
They're beautiful. They're beautiful coins, right?
Yeah,
They
I can't wait to get one.
They're like the most unique, actual physical coin I've seen. Yeah.
Definitely. And another cool thing that's rolling out for the coin auctions is people that did lose money in Surge Fund will actually be able to they'll be able to bid on these coins with their lost funds. So they can use that in their bid, and we'll be able to opt them out of that proportionate in Surge Fund to further help incentivize donations there. But outside of these external projects like NFTs and tokens and stuff, I really expect the Surge Factory to really help a lot too. Because I know there's a lot of projects out there that want their own Surge token, and they can just rip it off, sure. But I think that the added benefit of being in our DApp, in our DEX, and our ecosystem, being a verified, pre-audited Surge token is where all the value is going to come from. They could just, anyone could just fork it, plug in their token there, and you're good. But nobody knows if you hit any code in there that would do something malicious. So having the ability to have them pre-audited is really a valuable thing that I think will help the Surge Fund a lot.
Hey, and I'd like to add to that is I have been here recently buying up collections from artists to help them get started. And these collections I'm buying, I'm minting them. They are my collections. I'm selling them. And I have the Mooney Martians that we're getting ready to sell. I'm sending 10% of the sales of the Mooney Martians to the relief fund. And I mean, you can do the math on it. I mean, a piece that's going for in between $200 and $300 a piece, and it's 10,000 piece collection. So we should be able to raise pretty good funds on that. I also have 6 other collections that I've bought that we haven't marketed yet, that we haven't done anything for yet. I plan on putting portions of all of those collections towards it as well. So like you said, I don't think the relief fund thing is going to go on forever. I think we're going to be able to dwindle it down pretty quickly.
Yeah, Diablo's right. Yeah. Do you know how many people in the last week and a half, like top NFT artists here in the space have been contributing back towards the fund? Last Friday night, it was a ton of fun doing an auction for many different artists who were donating their NFTs for Surge Fund. So just like a big shout out from all of us here, say big thank you to you. It's really awesome to see the community step up and help us out and try and get that, fees and that fund paid down as quickly as we can and make things right. So just want to say a big thank you to Diablo and all of the crew on many different projects that have been helping.
Absolutely. And a thank you from me as well. That's all what DeFi is about. And that's what Surge was trying to bring together, was a way to unite all these different projects in the space. And it's really been amazing seeing everyone come together to try to help the victims of the hack. So a big thank you for myself as well. All right. Do we got any other questions?
We did have, I saw DeFi Crypto Revolution hop back up here. Did you have a question for us?
Yeah, hi, Mark. Couple quick questions. You mentioned the whitelist for the purchasing of xUSD. How will we get on that? One of the 400 spots, and will we need Smart Chain to be able to, if we want to contribute 25,000? Do we need Smart Chain, or is there a lower fee way to enter? And my third question is, it's November 5th, just a random date, or is that a reference to Guy Fawkes Day?
So November 5th is the rollout day. That's when xUSD will launch. The pre-sale stuff will happen 2 days before, so November 3rd. And oh, sorry, I just had the answer to the first thing you asked. What was that again?
So is there a low cost way
yes.
instead of converting smart chain?
Yeah, so there's two ways you can purchase into it. So to actually secure your spot, it's going to be 0.3 BNB to reserve your spot in the presale. That will be in Smart Chain. But to actually buy xUSD, both if you're in the presale, you can buy it tax-free, buy and stake. So you can either give the presale contract BNB and it will buy it for you, or you can optionally stake in your BUSD that you already have. Say you trade a bunch of cryptos and you have a good stash of BUSD set aside or USDT. If you convert that into BUSD, you don't need extra smart chain. You can just stake your BUSD in and receive xUSD out, which is really cool. So you would be able to stake in your if you had 25,000 BUSD, you could move all of that in right away and receive your xUSD back. And it's the same fee as buying. The only difference is actually you might get a slightly better deal if you do stake with BUSD instead of buying. Not for any surge fees applied, but because when you actually reach out on PancakeSwap and buy the BUSD with BNB, there is a 0.5% slippage that you might face sometimes just because of how PancakeSwap works. So if you already have BUSD, I would say that's the best way to ensure that you get the best bang for your buck.
All right, are you going to open up the pre-sale slots on Discord, or were you going to?
We'll have a big announcement for everywhere. I'll post that on Twitter and Discord. It'll be one of two things. You'll either be able to sign up by sending 0.3 BNB to a contract, or you'll have to go onto the xsurge.net app and to click a button on there to do it.
Sounds good, Mark. And then my last question is November 5th, is that just a random date you picked, or is that in reference to Guy Fawkes Day, upsetting the kind of world financial system?
Oh, I mean, that's awesome. I didn't realize there was that correlation. It was definitely a random date, but let's use that. That sounds good. It was originally set to be this Monday, but we didn't have everything lined up in time for education. And education is very important, especially as we keep making all these new crazy changes and stuff. It's important that everyone's on the same page.
Yeah, on that, Random Arts was actually supposed to put the educational material together, but he had a family emergency that he had to attend to, so we weren't able to meet that deadline. But Mark is putting some stuff together. Everything will be out in time before the launch.
All right, Mark. Thanks for answering my question.
Of course. Yeah. Thanks for coming up.
Well, hey, Mark.
Oh, go ahead.
Hey, no, I just wanted to plug these flavor Doges real quick. Most of them are sold as a limited collection of 10 Doges. So they're little Doges inside donuts. 100% of the proceeds go to the Surge Fund or whatever. So far, we were to deliver around 7.2 BNB to the Surge Fund, and there's still some funds rolling in. So I believe there are 3 or 4 might be left in the collection. I'm not sure, but definitely check the collection out. It's by one of our community artists. Many of you know Shelby. She created these, and 100% of the funds go to the Surge Fund. So check it out.
Yeah, that's incredible. Thanks, Booty. Or Dominic, is it now? God, you change your name too much.
He does. He changes it too much. Dom does change it.
Loretto.
All right, so we got some people up here. I don't know who was next. Michael, did you have something to add? Or Philip, I guess it is now. It says you're a speaker, but I don't see your mic moving at all. If you don't got anything to add, we could bring someone else up as well.
We do have Safe Moon Show who just joined the space. Safe Moon Show, do you have a question?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Not much. How's it going?
Same old. I just had an idea to run by you. This may be something you guys were thinking about with the Surge coins. So, like, any coin you do that does have staking with like proof of stake for that coin itself. Would there be a way to do a contract where you can pool the, let's say Cardano, for example, into a staking mechanism on the network to add extra rewards for staking at the same time. And also, when you do get rewarded by getting Cardano from that node or that stake, it would then be converted to the X Cardano, let's say, which would then help the price of the X Cardano go up as well at the same time.
So
And add
you're
value.
by staking, I assume you mean moving your tokens in the Surge staking method, or do you mean like traditional staking, like you pair two assets?
Yeah, so let's say Cardano has proof of stake. You could put that in a wallet and stake it on Cardano's network, right?
Okay, I see what you mean.
People will then be in a pool, for example, then get rewarded with Cardano. That Cardano will then be converted into X Cardano when the reward goes into that wallet, let's say, which would then raise volume, raise fees, and raise the price of the holders of that pool.
Okay. No, I see what you're saying. That's a great idea. So staking the underlying assets. That's not something that's generally possible on BSC at this time. We'd have to be on a native other network like Cardano to actually gain those benefits. But when we are working closely with some people that have some pretty cool cross-chain compatibility. Jen knows them very well, and I'm not sure exactly where our relationship will go in the near future, but being able to reach out to other chains and potentially benefit from some of the things these other chains provide, such as on-chain staking, will be great. So that's a great idea, honestly, man. Thank you.
Exactly, and that way everyone supports even other networks, right? Like Cardano's blockchain and other blockchains that do have staking. You can both support that network and our own network, and it benefits both sides and the whole community in general.
Yeah,
that's
the idea. Future. Yeah, that's the future, like of blockchain integration right now. Everybody's working at it. We're all trying to figure it out. I've been in meetings all week with different, CEOs of different chains, different parachains for, for example, on the Polkadot system. But ideally speaking, we want to be together and making more and more commodities available to as many investors as possible, because choice is freedom, and being able to do stuff on a personal level for your own benefit, whether that's short term, long term, extremely long term, because we're talking about digital assets, of course, that are going to probably outlive ourselves. It's important that we build and create architecture that can benefit everybody across all. So really good point there.
Yeah, no, that was a great idea. Thanks for coming up.
That's all I have to say. Everyone enjoy your weekend or your week, and all the best.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Have a good one, bud.
Did Philip hop off? I guess so.
Yeah, I saw him hopping. I saw him jump back on and then jump back off. I think he might be having some technical difficulties. Marty, did you have a question? Or something to add?
Martin's hanging out. Not sure. Hey, if you guys have questions, feel free to throw the request in there. Right now, I don't have any. But yeah, man, it's definitely been a good space either way.
Yeah, definitely. This has been fun. There's been a lot of good information shared here lately. And guys, I just have to offer my gratitude. A lot of the ideas that we've gotten from the community as well. So if you guys, if this community has anything that they would like to recommend, we are all ears. I'm in the Discord. I basically live on our Discord. Me and Tal and the other community managers, we are always looking for things like this. So if you guys have any great ideas for how to expand DeFi even further, then we're going right now. Push the boundaries. Tell us about it. We want to hear it. We're always looking for that kind of thing.
Yeah, I always love a good idea. Especially, there's so many benefits on other chains too, that eventually moving out and being a cross-chain project is definitely something that's very enticing to myself. So that was definitely a good idea. For right now, we live on BSC, but no reason not to expand out with time. We're gonna see how much we can take over BSC in the meantime, though. The Surge DEX will be very cool. I can't wait for that. The factory as well. I can't wait to see all the new Surge tokens that come out that can be traded for each other. If you make a token on Surge DEX, you'll be able to let people move in and out. Well, if you make a token with a Surge factory, you'll be able to have people move in and out of your Surge token with their other Surge tokens, thanks to xUSD. So it's going to be very interesting. Hopefully a lot of money will be raised for Surge Fund for it. Hopefully we'll get some DEX funding to help pay for some of these audits, some extra developers, and really, really nail this out and make it what it can be.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about the platform to be able to build out your own Surge tokens. I think that's going to push innovation. We're going to see a lot of different ideas come out of that, and a lot of innovation come out of that platform, because there's a lot you can do with Surge. The idea in general, there's a lot you can do. So that's going to be big. Mark, do you have any partnerships coming up, or anything that you think will be big?
Well, nothing I can comment on right now. Nothing too concrete. In terms of partnerships, anyone in DeFi, I use the term partnership loosely, not loosely. I try to not use it loosely, considering Surge itself isn't an organization or an entity. It's fully community driven and community operated and owned. I happen to write the contracts for it, but I in no way call myself the owner of it. But everyone's welcome to collaborate with Surge and make some cool stuff together. But I know we've been talking lately too, Booty. So
I was just going to say,
cool
Booty
stuff in the
trying to
pipeline.
imply something. What do you got going on, Booty? You got something happening?
Yeah, just say it, Jared. You're gonna give me those Surge drips?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Listen.
That?
Well, look. So Surge is a project that's close to my heart. So if you guys know me, you know I was one of the biggest proponents for Surge, in the face of the economist who was, Surge is going to break the rules of economics. I don't know. It's going to die. You know what I mean? I'm like, shut up. This is fucking innovation. This is genius. So
Yeah,
you know,
we get it all the time.
Yeah.
Nothing ever just goes up. That's the biggest thing we hear all the time.
All the time.
All the time. We got to battle that constantly.
They just don't want us to know that this exists, right?
It's mathematical logic. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't wait to share the math with everyone too, because it's so beautifully simple how it works. It really is. And just some of the problems that it's crazy when you see it in the terms of like what it was trying to solve. Like the problems it was trying to solve is really cool to how Surge was developed. We didn't even, so when I made Surge, the fact that the price never went down was secondary. I didn't even find that out until I was testing it. Like I wrote Surge to combat the problems seen in liquidity pools, where people will say, "Oh, this token has a $2 billion market cap," but in reality, there's only like $30 million in its liquidity pool, and no one could sell $2 billion worth. That money doesn't exist, and that's just because market cap is wrong. Market cap for all these DeFi tokens is completely arbitrary. I could make a token with a market cap 10 times that of Bitcoin in 2 minutes, easily. You just add it to a liquidity pool, and that's the problem. And that's the problem Surge tried to solve head on, was this concept of vastly inflated price and market cap. There's so many examples of this. Like there's projects all over the place where someone will have more money in their wallet.
Going by and seeing the room now. There's like, oh, no one's here yet.
Hey, SafeMoon Rick, would you mind? SafeMoon Rick, could you please mute your mic? Thanks, bud.
Sorry about that. What was I saying? Sorry.
We got a question that's been pending here for a little while. Hammy, you had your hand up, bud?
Oh, yay. Hey, Hammy.
You're muted, boss.
Hammy.
Oh, what's up?
What's up?
Not much. I just had one quick question about the xUSD. I kind of view it as probably one of the best safe plays for crypto, almost a hedge position in the marketplace right now. I'm just wondering if you're kind of marketing that in that fashion or not,
Absolutely.
because that is like a gold mine right there. Being able to have exposure while being paired to a USD is something that hasn't been available before. So I just think it's an amazing feat, and I think I can't wait to see what happens with it.
Awesome. Yeah. No, thank you, man. And the hedging and possibilities of Surge is one of my favorite parts to it as well. The fact that you don't have to just sit in a stable coin anymore. You can actually sit in a stable coin that appreciates is something that's really interesting. And I really can't wait to see how it works and plays in with the whole market, because you're right. As sentiment changes, if people think that we're going into a crypto winter, we'll see a lot of action going out of these other Surge tokens into xUSD until a more opportunistic time approaches where they can re-enter these other crypto assets whenever they want. And that is really important. And Surge is supposed to be a hedge. You buy a Surge token that represents another token. So you're not buying a new product. You're buying an ability to gain more of an existing product. Whether that be Surge Ethereum, you're buying it because you believe in Ethereum and you want to hold more Ethereum. So that you shouldn't be married to that for forever. You should have the ability to, for very cheap, switch out into xUSD and switch back in according to your market sentiment. And that's something that xUSD allows you to do, which is really exciting.
Yeah, no doubt. I haven't seen any other hedge like it, aside from the stable coins, but like we all know, they don't do anything. It's like the US dollar. So.
Yeah. No, definitely. And you all know how the US dollar works. You're losing money just holding US dollars. Talk about a hedge against inflation right there. xUSD, I can't wait for it. Hell yeah, man. Thanks for coming up.
The exchanges are going to love this, Mark. They are going to love it. Like, I am already getting messages. Just for the record, I was on earlier with the exchanges. I'm getting messages right now regarding it.
All I'm saying is I don't understand why any exchange would pair an asset with USDT, okay, Tether, where
makes no sense.
No one knows if they even have this kind of money that they say they have.
We already know they don't.
Or you could pair it with xUSD, which is stable and will actually only appreciate. That's the biggest thing I'm excited for xUSD is its presence in liquidity pools. Like, for instance, Jen's project is Vault. Say if Vault lists with xUSD. If the price of BNB were to fall in half, it drags Vault down with it. And Vault becomes, or any token that's on PancakeSwap paired with BNB, it inherits BNB volatility. Because the underlying asset on these pools, whether it's BNB or USDT, that's what gives a token its value. Tokens start inherently valueless. You have to put them in a pool with another token to give it a value. So what that value is important. And people are just used to using BNB because that's the convention. But imagine holding it against an asset that doesn't go down, but it just slowly creeps up. This is an example I gave before. Say Vault and xUSD are in a pool together and no transactions are made. No one buys Vault, no one sells it, no one moves it. And xUSD goes up by 10%. That would bring the price of Vault up 10% with it, because now its underlying asset, what gives it value, has gone up by 10% in this example. So it will actually drag all the coins paired with it up along with it, which is why I think it's
a game changer.
A perfect underlying asset.
It is. It's a game changer. It's an underlying asset. It appreciates. It's stable. It provides a hedge.
And it doesn't even add that many fees. 0.25% is basically nothing.
It's nothing.
That's what you pay anyway to use an exchange. You pay way more than that in fees. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a perfect underlying commodity for a lot of different pools, exchanges, everything to use. Now, I don't believe that all the exchanges are going to ditch USDT right off the bat and move on to it. It's going to be a learning process. We're just going to have to show them, hey, this works. Look at all these other tokens paired with it. Look how they're doing. Now you can see what you could be doing too. And I really think it's going to go like that. We just need to do it right. We need to market it right. That's why I'm excited. It's going to be on PooCoin too. People will be able to see a charting application that they trust, and they know it's data from the blockchain, instead of necessarily needing to ask the contract what the price is all the time. You can see an accurate representation of it.
Absolutely. Hey, DeFi George, I saw you had your hand up for a little while. You got a question?
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Hey Mark. Before I ask the question, I just want to say, man, thank you for sticking with Surge even after the hack. I was one of those that was impacted really very hard. I lost 70 BNB to the hack, and man, I'm just glad because through the Surge fund, I want to say it out there so people believe that it is happening and we're recovering little by little. I recovered 3 BNB out of those 70. So I just want to say, thank you for sticking with it and not folding. And, you're doing great. Now, the question I have is, I joined a little bit late, so I don't know if you mentioned that, but what's going to happen with the original Surge USD?
Okay, so the original Surge USD we have now, that one will also be paired off with this xUSD. And I know that's a little confusing for everyone, but it's going to be very interesting. So it's going to allow people to move between xUSD, which is kind of a short-term play, like very low fees, into the other Surge USD, which has higher fees and it's more for long-term holding. So they'll have a weird relationship together, and they will share price movement together, considering you're going to pair them off with each other. But Surge USD, the fees are too high to be this intermediary token, so it's going to live as more of a store of value bank account, kind of an asset, different from xUSD, which will more be an intermediary way to like quickly move in and out of different Surge tokens. So you'll also be able to move into the higher fee Surge USD from xUSD as well.
Perfect. And then the other question is, probably you said it or you're going to bring it out in some announcement or video. So how is xUSD going to appreciate if there's no fees?
So there are fees. They're just very, very low. It's a 0.75% on buy and stake and a 0.25% on sell and transfer. So the fees are very minimal, very minimal. And so it'll allow trading to occur more frequently and without losing a bunch of money to fees. So
Perfect.
That's why it's ideal to be in liquidity pools. Surge USD's 2% transfer would really inhibit other companies from wanting it in their liquidity pool, because that would add 2% to their tax, if that makes sense.
Perfect. That makes sense. Thanks. And shout out to Blue, man. You kick ass in Discord.
Awesome.
Man,
yeah, thanks for
bro.
coming up. No, yeah, that was great. That was a super good little speech you gave too. It's awesome you got 3 BNB back out of your 70. That's incredible, man. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get it all back soon. We'll keep on trying.
Thank you so much for coming up here and saying that. We've been preaching to the choir, preaching to the masses. This is working. You're not the first guy to tell me that we have seen progress from this thing, and we really appreciate the shout out, buddy. I mean, sincerely, from my heart, I really appreciate hearing that.
Yeah, that made my day. Thank you. All right. Any other questions?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to split. I gotta get ready for work. Got that full-time job I got to tend to. So this has been really fun. I love this community so much. Thank you all so much for coming up here and participating in this AMA. I hope you're as excited about this as I am. And I'll see you guys in the social media platforms later.
Enjoy mining
Awesome.
your Blue.
Yeah, have a good day at work, Blue. I'll talk to you later.
All right, brother. Take it easy, y'all. Thanks, Jen. Bye, Matt.
Bye, Matt.
All right, so we got time for a few more questions if people still have stuff to say. Otherwise, it's been a great space, and thanks for hearing me blab for the last hour. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming for sure. We're gonna have more spaces too, following some of the other launches, including Surge BNB and Surge Factory and the DEX, of course. But just wanted to give you guys that little roadmap today, just so you know what to expect in the coming weeks. But yeah, xUSD, November 5th, Friday. It's going to be a big one. I can't wait. I can't wait to pair it off on PancakeSwap. I can't wait to swap my surges around. So many cool stuff coming. I'm just glad we didn't stick with the bridges. We originally had all these bridges planned and all this complex stuff, and the fact that we took so much time saying, I don't know, maybe we should do something else, it was absolutely needed because we've built something really cool from it.
Let's go.
All right, yeah.
Quest, man. It's up to you what you want to do. I think all the info is out there. We do have the Moonmark YouTube video coming soon. I do want to say I didn't get the chance to say it earlier when we had more people in here, but still, it's fun to be able to announce that we did get a hold of G Media and our friends over at Goxstein Media, Andrew and David Goxstein, the CEO of Pack Protocol. We will be having an interview with Mark coming soon. We can't reveal the date yet, but we're really excited to announce that. So.
Yeah, that'll be awesome, and hopefully we have a chance to reach a new audience, teach some new people about Surge, and show them what we're all about.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Can we also just shout out the Flavors crew, because they're going to run I believe they're going to do another Frosty Friday this Friday. Anybody who's just looking to hang out late at night and have some fun, it's a whole crew of DeFi. We do it in spaces, and we've typically been doing auctions for NFTs, and they are graciously giving a large portion of that back to the Surge Fund. So I just want to shout them out. They are posted up here at the top of Spaces today. So check out some of the artwork if you're interested. I know that the flavor doges are the ones that are up right now.
Hell yeah, guys. No, this has been awesome. It doesn't seem like anyone else has anything to come up and say quick, so we might end this out.
Hell yeah, man. Peace.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone, for coming. It's been awesome. Feel free to reach out to me if you need anything. Discord's probably a little bit easier to reach me. I'm going to try to spend some time going through some of my Twitter DMs in the following days. But yeah, big things coming soon. We got the Moonmark video and xUSD pre-sale on this upcoming Wednesday and the launch this upcoming Friday. So stay tuned for all that, everybody. And thank you guys for coming. Have a great rest of your day.
Peace out, guys.
Yeah, peace out.